Did you know that if goldfish are left out in the wild, they can grow up to 12 inches long? But when they're put in a tiny bowl, they stay tiny? Well, that's because goldfish grow to fit their environment. And we, as moms, are doing exactly the opposite. So, hey, I'm Joanne Crone. I'm the founder of No Guilt Mom. And today we're going to be talking about the goldfish method of goals. And I can promise it's not what you think. How many times have you heard as a mom that you need to take advantage of the tiny moments? You know, those moments between nap times, those moments at home when your kids don't need to help with homework or figuring out another problem or finding their shoe. You know, you're always taught as a mom to find how to achieve your goals in those little pockets of time. But in doing so, you've made yourself smaller to fit everybody else's needs. We have become experts in shrinking ourselves into tiny bowls. I've done it as well. I've said no to so many opportunities because I know it wouldn't be quote unquote convenient for the rest of my family. I have constantly put my family ahead of everything else. And as a result, I am a tiny goldfish in a tiny bowl. Let's talk about how we can expand our bowls and actually grow to be the humongous goldfish that we are. Just like goldfish, we adapt to our environment. But unlike goldfish, we get to pick our bowl size. I mean, when you think about it like that, it's like, why shouldn't we pick a bigger bowl? So let's break it down. How do we create a bigger bowl for ourselves? The first step is bowl awareness. I know it's a funny term, right? First, we have to really identify what's keeping our bowl small. Is it that we're not giving ourselves permission to do bigger things? Are we saying no to like those nights out with friends or maybe that class we really want to take every Wednesday for 2 hours at night when we know our partner will have to rush home from work to make it on time? And then we don't want to cause them that inconvenience, but we're more than willing to inconvenience ourselves. I mean, does this sound familiar? Because I mean, that's usually what goes through my head. I have to fight it constantly. So what I just talked about there was a self-imposed limitation. It's a limitation that I am saying no to myself before anyone else can say no to me. Do you do this in your life too? I mean, I do. I do. Tell me in the comments below if you agree with me here. So here's what I want you to start doing. I want you to start identifying those but I can't because thoughts. Now, in our balance program, we call this voice our Bob. Bob is the voice that's trying to keep us safe, but really makes us feel bad, like we can't accomplish very much. So every time you think, but I can't because, I want you to question it. For example, this weekend, I really want to go get a facial. The first thing that pops in my head, but I can't because my son has to go to a birthday party. So I'm going to stop right there and I'm like, well, can I really not? Like, who else can take him to that birthday party? Does he really need to go to that birthday party? Maybe like one of his friend's parents can pick him up for that birthday party. So, do you see right there how all my thinking was expanded just because I chose to really examine and challenge that, but I can't because thoughts? The second step is bowl expansion. I don't want you to do anything too crazy here because a lot of times when we go outside our comfort zone too much, it really shocks us, scares us. We're not ready for the repercussions, and we quickly go back to our smaller bowl. So I want you to push the limits of your but I can't because thoughts just like 5 minutes here. 10 minutes there. Say, like, you're reading on your bed and your 5-year-old comes in and is like, Mommy, I want to watch Bluey. And you're like, I'm reading right now. Immediately get up, you close your book, and you go and find and put on Bluey. So I want you to try to expand that just by like 5 minutes. Here's what that would look like. Your 5-year-old comes in and says, Mommy, I want Bluey. You're like, oh, I'm reading a book right now. Do you want to just sit right down here beside me and just let me read? And you can play on my phone while I read. 5-year-olds need bribes. They really do need bribes. Do not ever think that you can't offer a bribe. That is how I got through building my business while raising my kids. Next, add some support. Talk to your partner about you wanting to expand your bowl size. They might have ideas that's going to help you do that. For instance, my husband, I talk with about my guilt all the time because he doesn't have guilt when it comes to creating free time and doing stuff for himself. He's all like, he'll go to a coffee shop for an hour in the morning. He will go out, play Dungeons and Dragons with friends for 4 hours on a Saturday. Like, there is no guilt there. So I always talk with him about it, and he helps me rationalize it. He's like, of course you should go do stuff for yourself. That is a non-negotiable. He is one of my supports in helping me expand my bowl. So you need to find your own supports. Now, moms in our balance community, some of them whose partners weren't completely on board with them taking more time for themselves, which I need to talk with those partners, but they found their supports with the members of our balance community. So if you're finding yourself in that kind of situation, just know we have a complete solution for you. And that link to join Balance is right down there in the comments section. Balance members, shout yourselves out who are watching this video. Let me know right below so I can say hi to you. The third step, that's your growth zone. You're going to find that by gradually increasing your bowl size, you are going to start progressing. Pretty soon, it's not going to feel so odd that mom's alone by herself in her room for 20 minutes every night and no kid is bothering her, because you've taken those short little steps to get yourself a bigger bowl. Remember, there is no need to jump to the ocean overnight. We're just talking about little tiny steps, and that is where the real magic happens. So let me share something personal. When my son was born, he is my second child. He is now 11 years old. I decided to take off from my teaching career for a year. During that year, this is when I started No Guilt Mom, and I was working on it. I was working on it with him beside me, watching Peppa Pig. I was working on it when we went to like a mall playground and he was just playing and I would be able to work then. However, it got to a point where I wasn't able to really focus on my ideas and my writing because I had a child to take care of. So what did I do? First of all, I looked at my bowl and I'm like, you know what? I have these thoughts that, but I can't send my child to preschool because I am here at home. And as a good mom, I should take care of him. That was the thought I needed to challenge in my head. Then I went to that bold expansion, my supports. I talked about it with my husband. I talked about it with my family, with my friends. And they were the ones who supported me and told me, hey, any entrepreneur needs time to work on their ideas. We had the budget at the time. We started sending my son to preschool 3 days a week. At first, I felt like I was a horrible mom. I was like, why can't I handle this? Why do I have to send my kid off? While knowing rationally, being a former teacher, I knew that him being with friends and peers his own age and also adults who weren't me, who were loving and caring, was actually a very good thing for him, but it didn't stop those feelings of guilt. I really had to work through it. So once I took that step, it was 3 days a week, and we increased it to 5 days a week. And I was really able to focus on my business and grow my business from there. So just know that if you're living in a small bowl right now, bigger bowls are possible for you. So here are some other thoughts I want you to challenge. I can't work on my goals until my kids are older. I'm not asking you to work on all your goals right now and accomplish them tomorrow. I want you instead to think of what additional 1% can I give to the things that I find important today? You may be thinking also, but what about this guilt I feel? That's just your small bull talking. And guilt is not a feeling that you're doing anything wrong. It's just an emotion. It just has to be worked through. Like, I worked through the guilt of sending my son to daycare when I was staying at home. Maybe you're even thinking, I have limited time. We're not even talking about time. We're talking about expansion. We're talking about more space, which then creates more time for you. And then the biggest one, but my family needs me. A bigger bowl for you really benefits every single person in your family, especially your kids who see mom taking that space for herself, accomplishing her dreams. I always say you cannot change other people. You can never change your kids into pursuing bigger things, into having them take risks, into really going for big accomplishments. All you can do is influence them. And when you build a bigger bowl for yourself, you are influencing your kids majorly. So remember, you are not meant to stay small as a mom. Start building your bigger bowl and see all the great things that are coming for you. So, hey, if you're ready to start building your bowl, can you drop a fish down in the comments? Like, just drop the little fish emoji. You may need to search for it and let me know. Really declare it to everybody. And then subscribe to our channel here at No Guilt Mom for more parenting without the guilt, because we all need more of that. And if you can like this video too, I would really appreciate it. It gets it out to so many more people. So with that, remember, the best mom is a happy mom. Happy moms have bigger bowls. And I'll talk to you later.